going to talk about masculine traits every woman needs. My name is Danielle DeVita. I am a relationship and femininity coach. My goal is to help both men and women be in relationships that's best for them. And so we talk often about how women need to be feminine and have feminine traits, and I'm all for it because that's actually what I do. I help women become feminine wives, become feminine women. But let there be no mistake, we still have masculine traits. We all have a little bit of masculine, feminine within us, men and women. And now, of course, you want your dominant side to have a lot of feminine characteristics, but there are going to be some masculine traits that you need to have, and we're going to go over them in just a minute. So the first masculine trait that you're going to need is rationality. Yes, I think it's truly important for women to tap into their emotional side, but there are going to be times where you need to be very rational. You need to make logical decisions. When you are trying to be stern and speak to a man and say what you need and want, you can't have all this boohoo and crying because they won't be able to understand that. You're going to have to be logical and rational and say what it is that you need to say, which has a level of decisiveness to it. So you can't be all in your feelings all the time. When you're at work, are you crying every time something bothers you, or are you getting it together? You have to have your composure, and there needs to be rational basis for a lot of the things that you're going to say. It can't just be your feelings and your thoughts. Some things need to be based off of facts and reality. So you're going to have to live in the real world, whether you are married, single, dating, whichever it is. There's times where you need to tap into your rational side. The second trait that you're going to need, the second masculine trait that you're going to need is courage. You're going to have the courage to walk away from things that are not in your best interests, things that are going to be toxic, things that are preventing you from being the best version of yourself. So that may be friends, that may be career paths that you've taken that's not indicative of a feminine woman. It's going to be walking away from relationships that's not allowing you to have autonomy, right, over your thoughts. You're just a yes woman. You are showing signs of low self-esteem. You're going to need that courage, and you're going to have to tap into that. And sometimes it's hard to do that when we are living in fear. But I did another video about confidence, and that's what you're going to need to find a person that's best for you. And in order to do that, you're going to have courage. And that's a masculine trait, but I think that women should also possess that trait as well. You can't be so much in your feminine that you have no courage. Yes, it's good to have the protection of a man, but you're going to need to have the courage to fight when you need to. Fight for a better life for yourself. Fight for peace of mind. Right? And this is not, and this fight isn't physical. This is mental. This is a spiritual battle sometimes. We're weak in the mind. We're weak in our mindset, our thought processes. And you need that courage to push through to a better side. The third masculine trait that you need as a woman is self-reliance. You can't always rely on a man. You can't. Sometimes you're going to have to rely on that intuition. You're going to have to rely on common sense. You're going to have to fend for yourself at some point. You may not at this point have a man in your life, but financially you're going to need to take care of yourself. You're going to need to do what you need to do. So a level of self-reliance is necessary. So having some type of independence isn't bad. It's whenever you are overly independent that you won't allow yourself to receive anything. You won't allow help. You won't allow people to come into your life. So yes, you're going to need that self-reliance. Because what happens if something does happen to your husband? You can't be this damsel in distress that never knows how to do anything. So self-reliance is something that you do need to be intact first before you can even experience that feminine side. You're going to have to rely on yourself to even get through so you can be available and approachable for that man that comes your way. The fourth masculine trait you're going to need is assertiveness. Not aggressiveness, but assertiveness. And this is one of those things where a lot of people get it confused. They think being aggressive and assertive is the same thing. One is rooted in insecurity, so you're trying to beat your chest and demand and yell and scream and fight, right? The other one is you're just being sure of yourself, and you're saying it with a level of power and decisiveness about it. And that's what assertiveness is. There's still a gentleness about it. So you don't have to be loud. You can be quiet and assertive, but it's stern, it's firm. So the ability to say no, the ability to put yourself first, the ability to say what you're willing to stand for, what values you're going to have. So what friends that you're going to have in your life, what relationship that you're going to be in, the ability to say yes when you want to and no when you don't want to do something, to turn around, to have self-control. You need that level of assertiveness to do that. And you won't be able to get to that next step if you're too passive. You allow things to go on. You won't say what you're not willing to take. You won't set boundaries. You won't say when enough is enough. You won't draw the line. And you need assertiveness for that. So while women are talking about living your soft life and being feminine, all great. But you need assertiveness. You need self-reliance. You need courage. You need rationality in order to get through. And there's a few other dominant things you need to do to be able to push through a level of ambition and things like that. But understand that it's not all femininity. There's some things that you need to do to get to be the woman that you need to be for yourself, for your children, and for the man that is going to be there for you. You need that. You can't put all of the weight on him and you just being a receiver. You got to put back into it as well. In order to do that, you're going to need some of these traits. All right. So if you like this video, go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get more of my content. Thank you so much for tuning in and helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. Take care.